Hey everyone, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. In this episode, we're going to talk about Xbox Series X getting an upgrade on the dashboard to 4K. So, right now, if you're a part of the Alpha Ring or Alpha Skip beta program where you can basically say you want to get updates sooner than the rest of the players, which you can sign up for free on your Xbox. You will get this update that basically upgrades the UI to 4K, which is awesome because we all have PlayStation 5s, and that PlayStation 5, the interface is in 4K, and it looks fantastic. And seeing it on the Xbox right now displays their interface in 1080, and you can see the jagged lines and the jaggies and all that stuff, and with the icons and things of that nature. And so it'll be in the PlayStation 5 interface. That's one thing that makes it look really nice, is that everything's in 4K and it looks all smooth and really nice looking. And so that's awesome that Xbox is finally getting there. Right now it's in the alpha stage, like I said, but they don't have any information as to when it will come out to regular players. Usually Xbox and Microsoft do a fall update, so I would assume it's probably going to come around that time if I were to guess, because they usually do like a really big spring update, and they usually do a really big fall update to the Xbox environment. So I would assume it's going to come with that. But yeah, this is really cool. I can't wait to see it and see how it looks. And supposedly right now there isn't any word on the Xbox Series S having this update. It's just the X version. So we don't know if S will get it. I'm assuming S could do it. So even though it is a 1080, console primarily, I'm sure they could probably update the UI to be 4K as well. But yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I'm glad to see that update and glad to see these improvements. But what do you guys think? Shane, what do you think of this?
I think that's a good thing. I do agree that when you look at the Sony dashboard compared, you definitely see the 4K goodness of the Sony dashboard, even though it's still clunky and I hate the Sony UI. But Microsoft definitely could use the upgrade. And I'm glad. Sony or Microsoft always does a really good job of those little improvements throughout the console cycle. And I like that, and I'm glad that they're doing that. I hope it doesn't take that long. No, Nick, I hope it isn't at a fall release. But you're probably right, because you are right that they usually do have a big fall update thing. So, but I am happy for it. I'm always happy when my gaming experience is approved in any way, any fashion. I'm just happy, and I'm glad to see Microsoft doing it. I'm in that program. I have not gotten it, so bummer for me. And I believe you aren't both of you in it? Yeah. So, but I can't wait to see it. I'm kind of excited. I like those little improvements, especially when a little improvement goes a long way. And if you can see that, that 4K difference, then I'll be happy. So choo, sign me up. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, I'm in the insider as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember if I'm in the alpha or the alpha stable. There's a whole bunch of different versions. I can't remember which one of them I'm in. I'm not in the like bleeding edge group, but I'm in the more stable group, and I can't remember which one that one was, because you can change which group you want to be in. My only concern is that, Xbox has a feature, the resume feature, that I kind of hope this isn't going to affect, because if you render the dashboard in 4K, that's more system resources, so it's going to slow the system down when the dashboard's running. So that's my only concern, is I don't want that to affect the game, the actual game performance. So so that's my biggest concern, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I agree with you. Microsoft's pretty good about putting stuff out and testing it in multi-layers before it comes out for the general public's use. So I'm sure if they do find something, it will get fixed, or maybe they'll end up coming back and saying, guys, it's going to be a feature that you can turn on or off because it basically affects the performance by 20% or 25% or something like that. So Hopefully it doesn't. If it does, I hope they give us an option to not run a 4K dashboard. If it gives a significant performance dip for auto resume and things like that, I don't want it. I don't care if the dashboard's in 1080 or 4K because I'm not playing that. I mean, it's cool. I will admit that PlayStation dashboard does look pretty awesome when you're looking at it and you get to see little game previews and stuff, and it just looks nice and crisp. But for me, it doesn't matter that much. So maybe I'll join the alpha and the alpha skip group, one of those two groups, just to see if I can get an early copy of it and see how it produces. But Microsoft's also had issues. I mean, did you guys remember the whole thing where they had not so long ago where it was deleting like the dashboard or whatever? It was like you had to go and do some special tricks. That. So that's why it always makes me leery to do that. Now, obviously, they got everybody back up and going, but it's not something I want to deal with when I'm hopping on in the evening after work to play and then go, crap, where's my dashboard? Crap, my game console not loading. So that's why I don't normally put in for the alpha or the early unstable versions of the dashboard or OS. So, but I definitely want to see what it looks like. I do think the PlayStation's looks really crispy, but I agree with Shane. I think their dashboard is super clunky, and the buttons, oftentimes I'm like, how do I get the dang menu to pop up? Is it PlayStation button? Is it the select button? Is it the big button? Is it the, but Microsoft's got the same problem now that they have the they have the Microsoft button, they have the picture in picture, the select button, and they have the share button. And I'm like, God dang it, which one gets me where I need to go? But I don't play my PlayStation enough to remember. So half the time I'm hitting the PlayStation button, I'm like, oh, that doesn't do it. Select button or whatever. And I'm hitting the big button in the middle, and I'm like, oh, that's not doing it. I want to eject a disc that's not in there. So
yeah,
I'm interested.
One thing I wish, and this goes for all the game companies, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, is along with the updates like this to make your dashboard look prettier, and then they do updates to change the dashboard to where they feel it's even better, by adjusting your tiles or whatnot. I think you should be able to really optimize those a little more. So like I can truly just set up, boom, this is my game list, this is my game screen, something like that. I'd like to see more of that. So if Microsoft is going through the trouble to making the dashboard prettier, give me the option to make it my way a little bit.
Didn't they used to do that? I think they used to let you do a lot more tile control than they do now. Now it's like, I want to remove a whole tile group and I can't. It's like, I can't hide that tile group.
Yeah, so they did on the, it wasn't at release of the Xbox One, but it was like one of the iterations after that you could do that, if I remember correct. But I like the idea of more customization. And Microsoft does a pretty darn good job of it, but it's still pretty limited to what I would want to do with my dashboard. But as long as, but if it's prettier, and like you said, as long as it doesn't screw up to my quick resumes, I'm good with it.
Yep, definitely good. Nick, do you know if you're in the alpha or the alpha skip, or are you in like the stable version as well? Do you know which one of those groups that you were in?
I think with my Xbox One, I was in the alpha, like the bleeding edge portion. But I think with the Series X, I didn't want to go quite there. So I think I'm in the just stable portion, which I think is like beta or something like that, where it's just stable enough that they're going to put it out for every, it's getting closer to release. Yeah, because I haven't gotten this update either. I mean, my dashboard still looks the same. But I agree with you, Patrick, that, they should have an option for you to switch back and forth, like if you wanted to be, kind of like in the video options in the Series S and X or the Xbox ecosystem already, where you can change your resolution and stuff like that. They should have, what they should do. And this may do it, I don't know, but they should put it like interface, and then just you can select between the two. Hopefully it doesn't diminish any other resources or what the Xbox is doing for other things, such as quick resume and various other aspects. But, I guess if they added that button, it would be because it does do something, right? It does do some sort of detriment to something, but it is good that, Microsoft and I believe Sony does the same thing. They go through that beta process and that kind of alpha process to make sure that whatever updates they are going to put out there are going to work for the general public before putting them out there to the general public. So that's always a good idea. to beta test to make sure, hey, is this going to work? Is this going to not be a detriment to other features? And if it is, then maybe we don't want it. But yeah, I don't think I'm a part of that. I looked at it last night to figure out like what ring I was in, and I could not figure out what ring I was in. So maybe I look at it later and look at it again and see if I can't figure out what ring I'm in, because I could not find the location that says you're in this ring and you can choose a different one.
You have to go into the PC and look on your Xbox Live account, because I know I've seen it in there before, just playing around with the website. So I'm pretty positive you can go in there and find it pretty easy.
Yeah, it might be one of those things you have to do from the PC, as you said, because some things, which I still am not 100% on board with, that you have to do from the PC. Because what happens if you don't have a PC? You know, Microsoft's a little bit too full of themselves to think that everybody that has an Xbox has a PC. Because that drives me nuts still to this day. Some of the parental controls for Xbox and Microsoft accounts have to be managed online. And I'm like, so I got to do this stuff on my phone if I don't have a computer. So a little bit of that stuff is kind of annoying to me that Microsoft does. Or I'm sorry, but use the crappy browser built into the console. I hate it to no end. I don't have a keyboard and mouse plugged into my console, so that's a crappy design, in my opinion, because I hate navigating the browsers in my console. So
yeah, only time I use those is when I'm doing the rewards program.
The rewards, yeah, that's what I was
go
saying.
and hit the trivia questions and stuff, and it's like,
and then it's such a nightmare to get back. Yeah, it's such a nightmare. You're like, okay, I need to get back to that screen to do another one of their daily things, and it's like back, and I got to go through the 20 questions I already read instead of going home. So I end up closing out the thing and coming back. I'm just like, and then I come back and I'm like, did I really leave 15 browser tabs opened up in this dang thing? So I hate it to no end. I don't like it.
Yeah, but Microsoft doing something like this is a good thing, as long as you guys pointed out it doesn't take away resources that affect any of the system operations. You guys are tech people. I'm not. I just know I push power and I better see shit pop up. So, but I'm glad to see it, and I can't wait for them to release the full version, or at least to the beta ring, whatever the hell I'm in, because I really want to see it now. Because I want to see that 4K difference.
Yeah, I want to see it too. I'm really excited to see what it looks like. Hopefully, kind of like the PlayStation UI. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. That's cool. I mean, I'm always glad that even PlayStation and Xbox are still improving their systems and their dashboards and making sure that they're the best they can be. So yeah, that's a cool thing. Anybody else have anything they want to add to this one? Yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notifications. Leave us a comment. Hey, what do you think of this? Are you excited to see a 4K dashboard, or do you think it needs to say 1080? Should there be a button you can switch back and forth between the two? I don't know. Should Microsoft release a DOS version of the UI? It just comes up black screen, DOS, and you have to type it all in. Let us know what you think. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.